world's trees grow in large groups called forests, many do not. These non-forest trees are classified by botanists as trees outside the forest. They exist in a variety of locations and contain a wide spectrum of species. Trees outside the forest are key assets which provide both economic and environmental benefits to the world. Some include providing food, being sources of firewood for cooking and heating, providing shade and shelter to people and animals, enhancing the aesthetic qualities of urban landscapes, and playing a role in the reduction of carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Trees outside the forest are those which exist on what experts call other lands, meaning places not defined as forests or woodlands. Among these other lands are parks, farmland, land inside urban regions, fruit orchards, cropland such as coffee plantations that have large tree coverings, home gardens, and land with rows of trees alongside rivers, canals, and roads. Therefore, a tree outside the forest may stand as an individual one in a family's backyard, as one of many thousands in an apple orchard, or as one in a small woodlot where people in a nearby village acquire timber for cooking and heating. The volume of trees outside the forest compared to woodlands is uncertain, and an exact accounting of the difference between the two is practically impossible to determine due to the scattered nature of trees in so many various places. One key role of trees outside the forest is in environmental protection. Trees have substantial root systems, which help prevent soil erosion by keeping the earth in place. Trees outside the forest additionally act as windbreaks and protect the land by preventing the wind from blowing topsoil away. This is especially important on farmland and flatland, where there are typically no nearby forests to serve as windbreaks. And alongside rivers and streams, trees outside the forest halt riverbank soil erosion and provide shade and food sources that attract fish and land animals, too. This enhances the biodiversity of such regions and stabilizes them. Trees outside the forest play a crucial role in absorbing carbon. These trees also provide food and wood for people around the world. Fruit and nut trees are major sources of food for billions of people and amount to a small percentage of all trees outside the forest. In Morocco, for instance, fruit and nut trees, which include almond, palm, walnut, and fig trees, comprise 12% of such trees. As for wood, a large percentage of the world's population still depends on wood as a primary source of fuel for cooking and heating. In the state of Kerala in India, for instance, residents acquire almost 90% of their fuel from trees outside the forest, and about 70% of that amount comes from coconut trees alone. In Kenya, careful management and the establishment of tree planting programs on farmland in the 1970s and 1980s means that Kenyan farmers currently produce around 18 million cubic meters of wood for their own use and for sale as a means of supplementing their. The aesthetic qualities of towns and cities are additionally improved by trees outside the forest. People with homes on lots frequently plant trees to improve the beauty of their property. Such trees provide shade, a necessity in warm and hot climates that receive many hours of sunlight. Parks with trees also contribute to the quality of life in cities as they act as havens for people to find pleasure walking amongst the trees and enjoying other recreational activities. Trees in urban regions help regulate temperatures since they can reduce some of the effects of the urban heat island effect as well. With many regions suffering from deforestation, it is vital that people be encouraged by their governments to promote the growth of trees outside the forest. The major challenges today are to find practical ways to measure such growth and to implement national policies encouraging the planting of trees. These trees will become essential as sources of food and wood in the future and will also have on the world.